Now calling the matter of the people versus Timothy Tally Williams. This is ticket number on the docket today was SP 1283888. Count 1, drove while license suspended. Count 2, open alcohol in a motor vehicle. Count 3, no insurance misdemeanor. Not on the docket are tickets number SX 2454328. Count 1, open intoxicants in a vehicle driver. Count 2, furnish false forged info to police officer. Ticket SP 1452301. Driver's license never acquired. Count 1. Count 2, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 3, drive unregistered untitled vehicle. Ticket SP 1466801. Count 1, drive unregistered or untitled vehicle. Count 2, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 3, driver's license never acquired. Ticket number SP 1418401. Count 1, open alcohol in a motor vehicle driver. Count 2, tinted windows. Count 3, operator or front seat passenger failed to wear a safety belt. Ticket number SP 1467130, tinted windows. And tickets SP 1409982. Count 1, drive unregistered untitled vehicle. Count 2 of that same ticket is.
Hey, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's case is one you'll probably want to grab a snack for because it's a full-blown ride from start to finish. We're heading into the courtroom of a defendant who identifies as a living American state national, someone who rejects the jurisdiction of the court, rejects the authority of the state, and rejects pretty much anything that doesn't fit his personal belief system. But what makes this hearing so wild isn't just the ideology, it's the sheer volume of traffic violations he's facing. We're talking a staggering 17 citations stacked against him. Everything from driving with suspended license, to no insurance, to false information to a police officer, to multiple counts of open intoxicants.
I don't know if he was given counsel or not. Counsel?
Aaron Ruck on behalf of Mr. Timothy Williams. Mr. Williams, state your name.
I object to the counsel.
What was that?
I object to counsel.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Williams. He's saying it's not him, and he's all rights reserved. His name is all in all capital.
I object to representation.
What was that, sir?
I object to representation by you.
Okay. So you would like to represent yourself, Mr. Williams?
I'm not representing myself. I'm just here on special appearance, trying to clear this matter.
Okay, so you have to be the person in order to clear these matters. You just can't appear on behalf of someone unless you're an attorney. Are you an attorney, Mr. Williams?
I'm not the person, but I'm the live living Williams, not the Timothy Williams.
Are you Timothy Tally Williams? Do you know Timothy Tally Williams?
I am Timothy Williams, the living, breathing Timothy Williams, not the all cat.
And right out of the gate, we hit our first major roadblock. His court-appointed attorney tries to speak on his behalf, but he immediately objects, not because of bad representation, but because he claims the attorney doesn't represent him, only the corporate entity version of his name spelled in capital letters. This is classic sovereign citizen logic, separating the living man from the legal fiction. The judge, who has undoubtedly heard this before, keeps her composure and simply asks if he wants to represent himself. He refuses again, insisting he's only appearing to clear the matter, not as a person named on the ticket. And right there, you can almost feel the judge mentally counted 10 before continuing.
All right, so do you want to try and resolve these today or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you need an offer, is that what I'm hearing you say? Because we can try and resolve all these tickets today if you want to.
Well, I'm just, because as a U.S. national, I have rights protected by the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme Court.
Okay, so if you travel, drive, ride, anything on the city streets of Detroit, then you have to follow the rules that the city of Detroit has imposed. And so if you have not followed these rules, then you receive something called tickets. And these tickets are given to you based on the license or prior license or identification ID that is given to you. So we can either resolve these today or we don't have to resolve them. It's okay. But I would like to try and resolve these so that you can move forward and do whatever you need to do.
Yes, I would like to resolve them, but as the officer is seeing in his computer that by the Secretary of State, my ID has been rescinded, canceled.
But here's where things take a hilarious turn. He spends several minutes insisting he is not the person listed on the ticket, only to accidentally confirm that it is his ticket when he starts arguing about why his passport replaces his driver's license. This is a moment every judge secretly waits for, when the sovereign citizen logic collapses under its own weight. By admitting the passport is his ticket, he unintentionally ties himself directly to the case. You can see the prosecutor perk up instantly. It's like watching someone set a trap and then voluntarily step right into it.
I'll just drive here.
Hold on, but if you drive in a vehicle, you need to have a driver's license. Your passport does not enable you the ability to be able to drive on the streets of Michigan.
I travel not for business and commerce. I just
Same thing. They have to have licenses as well. Have you ever heard of a truck driver without a license that drives on the commutes on the freeways, roads, or byways? It does not happen. You have to have a license to drive on the city of Detroit, state of Michigan, all 50 states are under my assumption and ability. So, Mr. Williams, I can't go back and forth. I have a lot of people on my screen. I know you can't see. We can have this discussion, but it just has to be near the end of the docket if you don't want to resolve it right now. Okay?
But for the record, Your Honor, I don't drive.
Go ahead.
For the record, I do not drive.
Okay. So how do you want to resolve it today? If you don't want to resolve it, I have to move to the next person, Mr. Williams.
I would like to resolve this matter.
Okay. All right. So would you like me to get you a... Yes, Attorney Snyder, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Alexa Schneider for the people, P80322. If the Mr. Williams in front of us does not admit that the ticket is in his name, is made out to him, I'd ask that the Mr. Williams on the ticket be given a warrant and that this gentleman be removed so we can continue with.
At this point, the prosecutor steps in with a very reasonable position. If he insists he isn't the person named on the citation, then the court should issue a warrant for the actual person and remove this guy from the hearing. And honestly, that's fair. The court can't prosecute a fictional phantom. Either he's a man on the ticket or he isn't. And if he isn't, then the real Timothy Williams needs to show up. The judge tries, again, to keep things moving, but he continues debating identity, jurisdiction, and constitutional theory.
Mr. Williams, on these tickets?
Excuse me?
I said, is it you, Mr. Williams, on these tickets? Because that's fair. That means that I'm talking to someone who doesn't have these tickets in my courtroom, and so that person has not appeared. But I'm assuming that it's you. Are these your tickets, sir?
If you assume, yes.
Oh.
Okay.
So do you want to, Mr. Williams, do you want to resolve these or not? We can't keep going back and forth. You want to take care of these today with some type of plea or no?
I'm trying to resolve them, but I'm being threatened by prison if I don't agree to these tickets.
Who's gonna send you to prison? I'm not sending anybody to prison today. I'm fining people. That's all I'm doing. I'm giving them fines, monetary fines.
The prosecutor just said she issued a warrant. She recommended a warrant be issued.
Right, but she's not gonna get arrested, but she's saying if you're not gonna say that you're the person on these tickets. Mr. Williams, I have 20 people. I can't argue with you at the beginning of the docket. I can argue with you at the end of the docket. So I'm gonna skip over this matter so we can continue. Let me get everybody else out. Then I'm gonna give you all the time in the world and we're gonna figure out what to do with you today, okay? I don't mind taking the time, but I got all these other people on here who are looking like, come on now, okay? So just give.
You can almost feel the people waiting on Zoom silently begging him to either plead or vanish. 5. Later in the day, once the judge clears her docket, she brings him back in. And now she's ready to walk him step by step through the actual process like his confused first-time visitor at the DMV. She outlines every option: a bench trial, a jury trial, a pre-trial, or accepting the deal on the table. She even reminds him that refusing all the above will eventually turn these tickets into warrants that owe her credit. She's incredibly patient. She tries again to explain the law of Michigan, how local courts operate, and why federal constitutional arguments don't magically erase traffic violations. It's like watching a teacher try and explain algebra to someone committed to using...
Timothy Tally Williams. These matters were called on the record previously. I took a moment off. We had quite a busy docket this morning, and I want to make sure that we could give Mr. Williams adequate amount of time to be able to have all of his questions answered about the matters that are before this court today. Appearances for the record, starting with the city attorney, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alexa Schneider for the people, P80322.
All right. He continues to not want counsel. Is that correct, Mr. Williams?
Correct.
Okay. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Timothy
Last name?
Williams.
Okay, sir. Now you've had the opportunity to sit and look and see how everything pans out and how everything works, Mr. Williams, right? Did you want to be presented with an offer today, or how do you want to move forward?
Well, the offer was to get all this.
So the offer was, I think, so he had some extra cases, Attorney Snyder. So it was FTD, failed to display a valid operator's license, and an open alcohol passenger that was being offered in exchange. He did have a couple of tickets in default, another open intoxicant driver, Attorney Snyder, and it was forged or false police information to a police officer. He may have just given him like a ID that expired. But if you plead to those two cases, the remainder of your cases will be dismissed.
No, I was talking about the agreement between me and you was to get this.
But instead of engaging with the actual choices, he goes right back to arguing status, citizenship, and jurisdiction. He insists he's a national, not a citizen, which somehow places him inside the United States geographically, but outside its legal authority, AT this point. The judge finally addresses a core issue. None of these philosophical claims matter in a traffic case. If you're driving on local roads, you follow local laws, period. State sovereignty exists for a reason, and traffic regulations fall squarely under that umbrella. The judge lays it out plainly. The Constitution does not give anyone a right to operate a vehicle without a license.
The options are, so these are your options. You can ask for a pretrial. That'll give you some time to get documents together and to get everything back in order and then present it to the court. You can ask for a bench trial. That's a trial before myself as the trier and finder of facts. Every single one of these officers who have made these allegations would have to appear on that date and come into court. Or you can ask for a jury trial. That's when the officers is in person. 6 citizens of the city of Detroit will make the decision based on the law. Officers still have to come in. You will have to come in at that point in time, and then we can resolve it that way. Those are the 3, or you can plead guilty or plead responsible at this point in time to the offer that has been extended to you. Those are the 4 things that we can do to resolve it today. And I guess the 5th one is if you don't want to do any of those, then it just remains as is and goes. It just remains there, and then eventually it goes into warrant status.
Yeah.
All right, so I said,
Rights, and I don't understand what's going on. So
okay. I don't know if they'll be able to help you. I really wish you would let us assign some counsel to you. They may be able to talk to you and help you understand a little bit better.
I tried, but he not listening, so I was just taking them on hands.
All right. Sometimes you have to be willing to understand that they're going to give you the law, not necessarily what you're following, but the law that we practice in the state of Michigan.
I have no contract. If I have no contract with the Secretary of State, then like, why am I being took through this? I'm going through the proper procedure to have my rights protected under the Constitution and Supreme.
By now, the pattern is clear. The judge tries to help him. The prosecutor tries to help him. Even the defense attorney tried to help him earlier, but he refuses every lifeline offered. And the irony is, the deal the court offered was shockingly generous. Plead to just 2 minor charges, and they'll dismiss the remaining 15. In the legal world, that is practically a miracle. But instead of accepting the gift, he chooses to argue sovereignty, contracts, and imaginary jurisdictional loopholes. And the longer he debates, the clearer it becomes that he has absolutely no idea how badly he's hurting his own case.
Of Michigan?
Of Michigan, what?
No, I'm saying the Supreme Court of what jurisdiction? Michigan or the United States of America?
United States of America.
All right, they wouldn't have jurisdiction over local matters though, and that's gonna be the problem. You're gonna run into every time, Mr. Williams, that local matters are held. The Constitution extends the right for us to locally handle certain matters, such as ordinance violations, misdemeanors, driving offenses.
Right, so if I'm not a U.S. citizen, I'm a U.S. national. What jurisdiction does that fall under? I'm not a resident or a U.S. citizen.
Oh, you don't live in the United States of America?
I live in the United States of America, but not under the
Oh,
jurisdiction.
so that's your resident. Are you born, like, do you have you said you have a passport, is the United States of America passport?
United States of America, but not the United States, the federal territory.
Oh, you didn't get so you don't have like a federal passport given to you. It's not a passport issued by the United States of America.
And that brings us to the core lesson of today's case. Traffic court isn't a philosophical battleground. It's not a Constitution debate club. It's a place where judges apply the law, prosecutors enforce it, and defendants either resolve their issues or make them significantly worse. This defendant had every opportunity to walk away with minimal fines and a clean slate, but he chose complexity over common sense. And in the courtroom, that choice always has consequences. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more wild courtroom moments, sovereign citizen arguments, and real-life legal chaos, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and drop a comment below telling me which case you want covered next.